Hello, everyone. It's been a long time since I have posted anything. Um, I think that's just kind of because my life is just my life, and I don't know, I don't feel like I need to keep on talking or complaining about what's going on in my life. However, something has come up that I wasn't going to share with anyone because it's it's embarrassing to me, honestly. But I think it's really important for people to hear because it's something that you would never guess happened to me or any mom looking normal person. So I was on some pain medication that was pretty addictive, and I also was on I recently started taking antidepressants, as well as I had a couple of benzos in there, like Xanax to calm me down before so I could go to parties or um, just any time that I would just kind of freak out for no reason. And I also had clonazepam to help me calm down to go to bed, to go to sleep. And in my in all of this 3.5 years, the one thing I cannot stand is when I don't sleep. I hate it. The next day when I don't sleep all night long, it's actually a pretty scary scenario for me because the next day I'm ornery, I'm mad, I don't care about myself, I don't care about anyone else that much. I just kind of close myself in a room so that I don't affect anybody, and I hate to say these words, but I kind of get suicidal if I don't sleep. I'm not in a way that I think I would ever actually act on it, but in a way that I think about it a lot. And I know that people do what they think about. And so it's important for me to sleep. Kind of, yeah. Anyway, so my little sister Charity came to visit a couple of weeks ago, and she noticed some behaviors in me that she noticed when I was a teenager. And those behaviors were always things that she noticed in me when I was up to no good. And when I was up to no good as a teenager, I was up to no good. And Charity is the one just younger. She's my younger sister, and we're really, really close. And she was usually the most affected by my mistakes and my sins that I had committed. And so she also was the closest to me in watching my behaviors as a teenager. Now I'm not a teenager anymore, and the behaviors that I was having were not exactly the same. Like, I wasn't snappy, I wasn't mean, but I would sleep and sleep and sleep. And she also caught me in a couple of lies, in particular, a couple of lies about my medication. And then there was a bunch of stuff happening that I didn't know happened. Like, she was counting my meds for me without me knowing. And then she kind of did like sort of intervention kind of thing that at first made me really mad, but I know that now I'm really grateful. And she let Cedric know that she thought I was abusing my drugs. And so Cedric took me on a really sweet walk, and he just talked to me, and he's like, "Hey, Helena, how are you feeling? How are your headaches? Are you able to manage them?" And then he very softly and sweetly brought up, he said that Charity had some concerns with how many drugs I'm taking and the kind of drugs that I'm mixing. And I didn't get defensive because I knew that I was taking too many drugs. But my reason was that I'm in pain most of the time. Almost always. I've said that before. I'm always in some kind of pain. I have a headache, or, well, mostly it's just a headache, or debilitating depression, or I just really get down on myself for nothing. And I would consider all of those things pain. A lot of the depression stuff got a lot better when I went on to the antidepressant. I hope I can come off of it soon because I believe that that's a tool and not something forever. Anyways, so I told Cedric, I was like, I think I know what you're getting to. And I have been taking too many of my pain meds, and I don't really have anything to say. And so then he asked me how many I was taking, and I didn't even know. Like, I really didn't. I would kind of just open them and take a handful of them and go throughout my day, because that's all that would take away the pain. I was on them for so long that in order for them to work for me, I had to take a lot more. And it was the beginning of a slippery slope. I mean, I was still at the point of only taking them for pain. I wasn't medicating myself for depression or anything. I mean, when I took Xanax, I took too many. And when I took my sleep meds, I took too many. And my pain meds, I took too many. And sometimes I would mix like my tramadol with Xanax or something if I was going to a party and I didn't want to be in pain and I didn't want to panic. And apparently that could create a pretty crazy high. And I remember a couple of them. I laugh because it's not funny, but why not just laugh? Like Cedric said that apparently at Harvey's birthday party, I was super loud and I didn't even know. But yeah, that would be a mix of drugs, as well as that is a fatal mix. Like, you shouldn't mix pain meds with benzos. And I didn't know. Why would I know? I mean, my doctor prescribed them to me. My doctor, she didn't tell me to take them together, but she didn't tell me not to either. So I didn't know that what I was doing was that bad. I mean, obviously I knew I was taking too many of my medications, but I felt justified in it. Now, a couple of weeks later, and I gave all of my medications to Cedric, and when I really feel in a lot of pain, I'll ask him for some, but it's only the prescribed amount, right? And so I detoxed a lot, and I didn't think that it was going to be that big of a deal, but I did actually go through the shakes and the body aches and the stomach aches and stuff. I didn't think I would, because I didn't really think I was truly addicted. And I didn't go through withdrawals so much in the way of I need my drugs. But I did go through some times where a few days where I told Cedric, I was like, ugh, I just wish I didn't get caught. But now, and I think I'm pretty level-headed about this stuff now, I see that I knew better. I knew way better. Why was I doing that to myself? I think that I was irrational. Obviously, I was being irrational, as addicts are. And I don't think that I would call myself an addict, but I was addicted to some pretty scary stuff. And, it's been about 3 weeks since I got caught. And I feel like the body detox is pretty much over. I think I'm still getting a lot of rebound headaches and stuff, but as I come off of my drugs, I am noticing that I actually have less headaches. I mean, even now when I'm still experiencing withdrawals with my headaches, I have less. I'm grateful for the antidepressant through this whole situation, because I think I'm much more level-headed and I don't snap at people and stuff like that. But I'm excited to get off of it as well. And so next week I'm actually going to a rehab center to finish the 12 steps, because the detox is just the first step, right? And well, that's not even the first step. That's before the first step. And And I'm ready to just kick this, as well as other bad habits that I have. Addictions, like even, well, caffeine. I'm super addicted to caffeine, and who knows how many of my headaches are coming from caffeine rebounds. And I'm addicted to sugar, which is an inflammatory, and I have a brain problem, and probably a huge issue for that would be inflammation on the brain. Can't be good, especially when you have an issue with that. And so I need to get off of sugar, and I need to just get my life under control. It was out of control. And I mean, on one hand, I want to say it wasn't my fault, but it was. It absolutely was. I wasn't including Christ in my decisions, obviously. I wasn't including Cedric in my decisions. I wasn't necessarily lying, but I wasn't telling the truth either. Like, I didn't tell him when I started taking more drugs, and I should have, because he would have stopped me. Anyway, I don't know. I thought that I should update people on this situation. And I'll be going to rehab on Monday, I think, and I'm actually excited for it. My kids are being so lovingly taken care of by my sister-in-law in Arizona, and they're having a blast, and it's a lot of fun for them, and I'm really grateful for my family. I mean, I know that none of them would say this, but I have been somewhat of a burden over the last few years. I try really hard to be self-sufficient and do everything that I need to do for myself and for my kids, and to make it so that I'm not a burden on my family. But then things like this happen, and my family just steps in. Like, they're willing to take my kids, they're willing to help me out, they're willing to watch, like, be with me if I can't be alone, or which I'm past that point, and they just drop everything and help me. It's amazing. It's really amazing to watch my family work like that. Anyway, kind of the moral of this whole story, and the reason why I'm sharing it, is because you never know what someone is going through. I mean, you can look at a mother of 2 little toddlers that's obviously doing all she can and have no idea that she has this serious issue happening. And right now, at this point, through detox and stuff like that, I'm not always really nice, but I'm really trying, and I just want you guys to. This is really just a message of be kind, because you really just never ever know. You never know what is happening in anybody's life. Whether they're some grumpy old man, or this a lady at the grocery store that just wants to get through and wants to get home, or somebody who made a mistake driving and you're just like, what an idiot. But you don't know what's going on in their lives. You don't know what's in their heads. You don't know why are they driving like such an idiot, or that old man is most likely in a lot of pain, and the person at the grocery store, she might have some pretty major anxiety and doesn't do well in a line. That I actually get. Anyway, that's what's happening in my life, and it's probably happening in a lot more lives than you know. And you know what? You might even be somebody who is having a similar situation as me. Like, maybe you're on too many pharmaceutical drugs and you don't even know it. But realize for me that a lot of the drugs create side effects, which create side effects, which create side effects. And I was actually my doctor was prescribing me for my side effects and not for my problem. So let's just try to be better and eat healthier, exercise. I know that's just way easier said than done. Believe me, I know. I haven't started. but it's important. And it's probably more important than anything. And if we just get sunshine and eat properly and exercise and do things we love, create hobbies, spend quality time with our families, then we'll actually make a difference in our lives in a way that will change us forever and will not affect us for the worse in the future. Anyway, I don't really have anything else to say, but yep, I will talk to you later. I hope that this message gets spread. Even though it's a long video, I hope that it gets shared, because I think that this problem is a lot bigger than most people know. And I'm embarrassed to share it. I don't want to share this, but I just think that it's something that should get out there. I love you. Bye.